You're listening to a production of the National Media Archive. To learn more or volunteer, go to nationalmediaarchive.com.
What if I told you that retiring by your 30s isn't just a fantasy? I know it sounds outrageous, almost like a scam, right? But let's break down why this idea is gaining traction and whether it truly holds up. A 2019 Federal Reserve study revealed that only 45% of non-retirees in their 60s believed their savings were on track, and a staggering 13% had no retirement savings at all. That's a sobering reality check for most Americans. Consider the story of Emma, who began saving and investing aggressively at age 20. By living frugally and diligently following FIRE principles, she built up enough investments to leave her corporate job at 32 and now travels the world on a budget. Her journey shows it can be done, but not without sacrifice. Some might say, early retirement is only for the privileged or the lucky. It's a fair criticism after all. Not everyone has access to high-paying jobs or low living expenses. But if you look closer, the FIRE movement isn't a one-size-fits-all solution and comes with its own set of challenges. So, before you hand in your resignation letter, ask yourself, is FIRE about escaping work? Or is it about gaining control? Understanding the realities behind these stories can help you set realistic expectations and plan a path that fits your unique circumstances. Are you wondering how much money you'll need to walk away from work decades ahead of schedule? The answer isn't quite as simple as a single dollar figure, but let's try to demystify the math. According to the 4% rule, originally from the 1998 Trinity study, if you withdraw 4% of your investment portfolio annually, you'll likely make your money last for at least 30 years. But for early retirees, many experts recommend being even more conservative, using a 3% rule to account for the longer horizon and market volatility. Take Mike and Jess, who set their retirement sights on 25-0 a year. By slashing expenses and saving aggressively, they reached an 833-0 portfolio in their early 30s, which lets them live modestly but comfortably. Their discipline is impressive, but their lifestyle isn't extravagant. They still drive used cars and avoid luxury travel. Critics point out, isn't this just extreme frugality masquerading as freedom? And yes, the risk is real. You could end up living so lean that your quality of life suffers. Plus, variables like healthcare cost, taxes, and inflation can throw off even the best-laid plans. That's why it's crucial to personalize your calculations, revisit your assumptions regularly, and build in a margin of safety. Think of your early retirement goal as a moving target, adapting as your life and the world change. Is radical frugality the secret weapon for retiring young, or is it a recipe for burnout? Let's explore why living on less is both a cornerstone and a challenge of the FIRE lifestyle. FIRE adherents often aim to save 50-80% of their income, far above the traditional 20% savings benchmark. This level of discipline means cutting back on dining out, travel, and even everyday conveniences. Look at the case of Sarah, who documented her journey on a popular FIRE blog. She managed to retire at 35 by embracing minimalism, cooking at home, cycling instead of driving, and saying no to most consumer purchases. Her story inspired thousands, but she's candid about the sacrifices required, from skipping family events to passing on new gadgets. Still, many ask, is this sustainable, or does it suck all the joy out of life? The truth is, extreme frugality isn't for everyone. Some people thrive on simplicity, while others find it restrictive or lonely, especially if their social circles have different spending habits. The takeaway? Even if you're not aiming for full FIRE, adopting elements of frugal living like automating savings or prioritizing needs over wants can boost your financial resilience. Just be honest with yourself about what you're willing to trade for freedom. Is early retirement really the dream it's made out to be? Or are there risks lurking beneath the surface? Let's shine a light on the less glamorous side of FIRE. The 4% rule is helpful, but it doesn't guarantee your savings will last, especially if markets crash early in your retirement or inflation spikes. Research shows that sequence of returns risk can greatly shorten the lifespan of your nest egg if you hit a downturn right after you stop working. Take the example of David, who retired at 35 but was forced back to part-time work after an unexpected medical expense and a market downturn slashed his portfolio. His story underscores how even well-prepared FIRE followers can face setbacks, from health crises to family emergencies. Some argue, isn't FIRE just a privilege for high earners? And while there's truth to that, your background and opportunities matter, FIRE isn't a magic formula that works for everyone. No amount of mindset can erase systemic barriers or guarantee investment returns. So, as you weigh the pursuit of FIRE, remember, there's no shame in adjusting your plan, or even abandoning it if your circumstances change. Financial independence is a spectrum, and sometimes a flexible approach is the wisest path forward. If you're tempted by the FIRE movement but unsure where to start, what's the first step you should take? Let's talk about habits and resources that can help anyone improve their financial outlook, whether or not you retire early. One practical takeaway: tracking your expenses is linked to higher savings rates. Studies from the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau show that people who regularly monitor their budgets are 50% more likely to achieve their financial goals. My own journey included using free budgeting apps and community forums to stay accountable. I learned from others' wins and mistakes, and even picked up new skills like video editing and home renovation through online platforms. This blend of self-education and community support made sticking to my goals much easier. Skeptics might say, but no course or tool can guarantee wealth or passive income. That's absolutely true. There's no magic bullet, and anyone selling a shortcut should be met with caution. Success comes from consistent effort, not quick fixes. So whether you're aiming for FIRE or just want a healthier relationship with money, focus on lifelong learning and adaptability. The skills you pick up today could open doors tomorrow, making financial independence a journey rather than a destination.